Hello party people, it's Michael from the Classic Car Club here, and today I have the key to our Porsche GT3 991.2 covered in beautiful Miami blue. The key is as well. I think it looks great on the car. The key's a little funny. I don't know, I'm a black key kind of a guy. I'm low key, get it? I also think it's weird that it's shaped like a car, and then to start it, you put it in the car. It's like a bit of a Porsche mating ritual to start it up. But none of that matters. Let's talk about this beautiful thing. So Porsche 991.2, which is a very, very boring name for a very exciting car, I'd say. 991, halfway through, they made it to 991.2. There's some changes, you could read them. They made the front look a little better, I'd say. It's good for eating bugs because we haven't cleaned it yet, but that also indicates that they did a lot of work on the aero underneath to give it more downforce, and the air goes through it, and it comes out the back all clean and 20% more, whatever. Slightly bigger motor. It's a 4-liter flat 6, produces 500 horsepower and 3 high something torques. I'll tell you, the motor is pretty much the same motor that comes out of the Porsche Cup cars, so that's exciting. And I'd also say, I think it's just good looking. You know, one of the things that they did was they made the wing taller. It's a little back further too. I noticed that with each GT3, the wing gets taller, and as I get older, my hair gets grayer. I think that this thing's got a better version of age on it. But let's just go drive it. We drive stuff, let's go drive it and not talk about it. All right, inside the GT3. So you might notice the terrain from these videos around the West Side Highway heading north. And these expansion joints have become a bit of a feature of these videos, I think, after watching them. Now, you might have noticed from driving the old school Camaro, 69, 68 Camaro, they were very prevalent. And in this car, like every car on the highway, they are too. But I will say something about the GT3 is the electronic suspension on this car is impressive, where I'm certainly not avoiding the expansion gaps, but the suspension on such a rigid car is just ironing them out, but it still allows you to feel everything else in the road too. Now they're gone, but the communication that this car gives your butt, your feet, and your fingertips is unlike other road cars. It really does feel very racy. It gives you what you need, and it deletes all the other stuff. Usually cars delete everything, and then it just feels like you're, on a robot's back, let's say. But this is highly communicative. Bob and I are sitting in one-piece carbon seats. They don't adjust other than go straight forward and back, and that is it. And I'll be honest with you, it's how I like it. The bolsters are very aggressive, but they do hold you in place. They're bolt upright, but I like to drive like a nerd, so that suits me. And I'd actually say they're very comfortable. Back in my younger years, I shattered 2 vertebrae, and so sometimes car seats can kill me, but these feel nice. It is a GT, so it's a Grand Tourer, let's say, built for the interstate thrash, and you could definitely do a lot of miles in this one. Now, I don't want to make a lot of comparisons to the 991 and the 991.2 because that's a very Porsche thing, and there's a lot of Porsche people out there who will tell you all that. I will tell you, though, that for my honeymoon many years ago, my wife and I road tripped around America in a 991 GT3 and probably put about 8,000 miles on it in 2 weeks. So I do have some experience with it. And I'll say, even though this is a mid-generation correction, it's quite enjoyable. I'll say that. It's quite enjoyable. Also, the steering on this car, again, other cars that you might consider, if this is the kind of thing you like driving or you think you like driving, would be a Ferrari or other high-performance sports cars. The steering is so direct and so impactful. The smallest maneuver translates straight to the wheels and straight to the direction you're going. You'll notice I'm not looking at that camera very often because the minute I look somewhere else, I'm out of the lane. So it's very precise, high precision, and it makes it a real joy to drive. Thirdly, you'll notice I'm shifting with my fingertips. I'm not doing this and using my foot. This one is equipped with a PDK. Everybody says they want their GT3 to have a manual gearbox in it. I get it, but I'll tell you, I think that a dual clutch gearbox that you could paddle shift your way around is a much better match for this. I don't see Porsche factory racing GT3 cars with a manual gearbox. There's a reason. This car gets up and goes so fast, and everything starts coming at you so quickly that there's not a lot of time for this. I also think that that's a lot of power in the back wheels to manage deftly with a clutch pedal. And so for mere mortals, use the PDK. It's matched to this engine really well. It's matched to the gears really well. It does it all correctly. The other thing about a GT3 that I don't think people talk about too much is how drivable they are. And I mean that in two different ways. This is the closest thing to a race car on the road that you'll probably ever drive if you're lucky enough to drive one. But it's still very comfortable, and you could do a long drive in it. But the performance level on it is so far out there that by the time you get to the envelope of where its personality kind of shines, you might find yourself in handcuffs. It is so quick that the car is exceptional, and your job as a driver of a GT3 is to find a road that is as exceptional as the car, so you can really get into it and really wind it out and balance it through the corners and get a sense of what it's capable of without exclusively doing 160 miles an hour. This little bit of road right here, kind of by the cloisters, is always a good test of a car's suspension. It's very flat, and you have a bunch of these kind of quick right, lefts, and you can feel how flat this car is and how tight the suspension is and how tight the chassis is and how racy it really feels. It's just very different than anything else out there that you could drive on the road. Throttle response is beautiful. You could just lift on and off and on and off and slow yourself with just some engine braking. You don't really have to use the brakes through here. You could give it a downshift. Get a little weight up front. Get it to hunker a little bit more. Make cool noises. That's fun. It's just a machine, really. But just like that, you're doing 90 miles an hour, so there's always this exercise of constraint when you're driving one of these. You have to build that relationship with, I just want to fucking nail it and go, versus showing a little constraint. I think it's needed. You got to pick your moments. It's like being in battle. Pick your moments when you're going to do it. This motor, by the way, revs to 9,000 RPM. That's and it does it quickly. You heard just really quickly there how fast it climbs, and it really, it's funny. You get into some fast cars and you just feel like pushed back in a seat. In this one, it feels like the hand of God is behind you. Other thing about this generation is GT3s before it were very, very willing to kill you. You always kind of felt like, oh shit, like this is going to come around on me, like it's unbalanced. That whole story of the engine being behind the driver, behind the rear wheels, and the Widowmaker and all those things. There is a level of truth to that, and Porsche's been building 911s now for more than half a century. Actually, almost a century. Depends on how you want to count it out. And so they've refined that. But earlier GT3s brought that back. Modern day, super new GT3s are almost so precise that you lose a lot of that. But this one, 991.2, I think is right in that sweet spot where you could give yourself some butterflies. Worse than that, you could kill yourself pretty quickly if you don't respect what you're driving and you don't have your heads up and you're not thinking of what you're doing. But it gives you just enough confidence to get yourself into the right amount of trouble, which is what I like about it. Steering wheel has nothing on it, which I like. Just has two paddles sticking out behind it. I do like when the paddles stay in place when you move the wheel, but these go with you. That's just a preference. This is probably better because really in performance mode, you're not going to be crossing your hands over, so it should always kind of be in your hands. But I just like that they're always where I like them to be. But I think this is smart. All the switch work is just nice tactile little buttons. Some of them have a toggle-esque profile to them. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of things to grab your attention away from what you're doing at the current moment, which I like. It's pretty simple for a modern day car, actually. It still has the 5 stacked analog gauges in front of you. Actually, one of them is digital now. It does have the chrono on it, which, I'll be honest with you, I love starting it when I'm driving just so I can reset it. I don't think it has CarPlay. I don't think it has, my phone is connected on Bluetooth. I don't think it has CarPlay, and I'm not mad at that, because again, this thing requires all of your attention. Unlike any other car you're gonna drive, 100% of your attention needs to be looking out the front window, because, man, this thing goes. How about this? I always say, I'm not like, the sound of a car is nice, it's not the biggest thing for me. I say that all the time, and then I tell you how great a car sounds. This one's no different. It sounds like a cup car, because it's basically a cup car motor. Let me give you a taste. And that's 126 miles an hour. A good car. This is a great car. Wow. That goes really fast, really fast. Restrain, breathe. Loosen up your fingers. Wow. I keep on saying about how driving these cars is an exercise of constraint. Failing miserably here in it. Absolutely failing. Don't do what I do. Oh my God.
You could buy one of these at 18. You could drive one of these at 16, right? Yeah, you could buy one whenever.
Yeah, I mean, this is a grenade in your hand, this car. All of that said, perfectly balanced, gives tons of grip and confidence. One might almost say too much grip and confidence, or at least confidence. The steering is totally on point. The revs just fly. The car feels very planted. There's not a moment when those couple of little bursts of energy I gave it there. A lot of times you'll feel a car get light. You do feel this one hunker down. You feel it glue itself a bit. Suddenly it's like a really well-trained German Shepherd, you know, like you snap your fingers and it's like ready for battle. That's what this feels like. All right, so where would you drive a Porsche GT3 991.2? Man, I would drive it on, locally, I would drive it on Storm King Highway. I'd hit some of those really beautiful roads, as I did actually, in Hudson Valley. Further adrift, man, the Black Forest in Germany is a great place for a car like this. And you'll rarely hear me say it, but man, I would bring this to a racetrack. I would like to drive a GT3 or this GT3 on a racetrack just to see how close it could be to a race car, because the truth is, road cars, no matter how supercar or high performance they are, at the end of the day, they are road cars. And if you drive a race car, the difference is vast, but I think that this would be pretty excellent. Okay, so that was it, the Porsche GT3 991.2. I feel like I got to shake that one out a little bit. Very exciting. As Bob said when we were driving it, it's as exciting as riding a sport bike, except you're way safer in it and you have the luxury of air conditioning. So if you're a member, give us a ring, book it, take it for a ride. If driving something like this is of interest to you, come visit us, Classic Car Club. Thanks for sticking around for the whole thing.